Okay, so I'm on number 3 on the top of page 11. We're continuing from part 1 of 1.1a. We're going to model with some algebra tiles. So number 3 says, using your tiles, model the expression negative 4x plus 3 plus 5x plus negative 1. And I'm going to draw them in color so you can kind of see them better. So I'm going to line them up. My x's, remember, are the rectangles, and this is negative, and we have 4 of them. So here's 1 rectangle, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are your 4 x's. Then I have positive 5x. So I'm going to line them up right next to the negative ones so that we can cross out our 0 pairs. Now we have positive 3. So these are my squares. And negative 1. So we have 1 of those. So now we're going to go back. We're going to find 0 pairs on the x's and 0 pairs on the 1s. So let's do that. So I can cross off every single pair that has a partner. And we are left with a positive x, so 1 of them, and 2 positive 1s. So this is our simplified version of that expression. Now we need to evaluate this expression when x is negative 5, which means plug in that value of negative 5 wherever you see x. So I have negative 5 plus 2. Negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3. Okay, let's move on to the fourth one. All right, so it gives you the model. It says the following is a model of 3 times the quantity of x plus 1. So here's your x plus 1, and there's 3 of those. Okay, so let's write a simplified version of that expression. So there are no 0 pairs, so I have 1, 2, 3 x's and 1, 2, 3 1s. So 3x plus 3 is my simplified version. Let's evaluate this when x is negative 4. I'm on B now, so I'm going to plug in that negative 4 wherever you see an x. So we're going to follow the order of operations and do this multiplication first. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12 plus 3. Negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9. Number 5, we're going to do this exactly like number 4. It says use your tiles to model the expression 2 times the quantity of 2x minus 1. So there are, let me use my colors here again. So there are 2 x's minus 1. Here's your 1. And we have 2 of those groups. So again, we have 2 x's and a negative 1. So when we simplify that, we're just going to count everything up. So in this group, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. So I have 4 x's and 1, 2. So I have negative 2. They're red, negative 2. All right, now we're going to plug in 0 this time because B wants us to evaluate this expression when x is 0. So I'm going to plug in a 0 instead of my x. 4 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. All right, moving on to number 6 on the bottom of page 11. We're moving right along. So let's go ahead and model these with tiles. Okay, this is the last bit of tiles. We're going to move away from the tiles next. So I have 2 quantity x plus 2 minus x. Okay, so let's set up our x plus 2's. Make this one longer so that we know it's an x. Let me go back and make this one a more obvious x. There we go. And we have 2 of those, right? So I'm going to do 2 of those. This number here tells us how many sets of x plus 2 we have. And then we have that extra negative x hanging out there. So this time, there is a 0 pair. You have a yellow and a red. I can cancel that out. And whatever is left, I have 1x left. And 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. They're positive. X plus 4. All right. So let me model the next one. I'm going to start with this piece. Okay. So we have 4 sets of x minus 3. So here's my x. And here's my negative 3's. Okay? So I have 4 sets of those. So you're going to have to give me a time to model those. 4 sets of these. There's 4 sets of those. Now we have to deal with the front of that equation. We have 3 ones, so we're going to use yellow for those. And then we have negative 3 x's. Okay, so let's get rid of our 0 pairs. I'm going to do that in black. So I can get rid of this pair, and this pair. And I'm going to get rid of this pair, and this pair. Now I can go ahead and count what's left, right? I have 1 of these, so that's 1 positive x. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 negative tiles left, so I have minus 9. So x minus 9 is your simplified version. All right, let's move on to page 12 here. Page 12, you can use tiles if you'd like to, but I would like to move away from tiles and show you how to simplify. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get rid of the parentheses. And to do that, you need to distribute. Okay, so you need to take that 5 to everything inside. Take that 5 to everything inside. I'm going to rewrite the beginning. So 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. So you can squeeze together everything that's like. And when I mean like terms, I mean it has the same variable to the same power. So there are a couple sets of like terms here, and I'm going to use a highlighter to highlight them. So my x's are like, and my constant, the word constant means no variable, they're like. So I can combine the yellow terms and I can combine the green terms, but I can't combine them all. So I have negative 4x plus positive 10x, which gives me 6x, and I have 3 minus 5, which gives me negative 2. I can't combine these two together because they're not like. This 2 doesn't have an x, so this is as far as you can combine these. Let's look at number 9. You're going to distribute that negative sign into the parentheses. So that 12 is just going to come down and stay. So this becomes a negative 1. So negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. And we're going to stick that 4x back on. Let's get our highlighter out and let's highlight everything that's like. So my constants, which have no variables, are yellow this time. and my x's are green. So I'm going to combine 12 plus 2, which is 14, and negative x, and positive 4x, which is positive 3x. Let's put the x first, just so we're consistent. Put that constant last. Okay? All right. So let's skip down to number 12. A group of friends goes to a movie on Friday night. Each friend purchases a movie ticket that costs $8, a small popcorn that costs $3.50, and a medium drink that costs $2.25. What we need to do is we need to put a circle around the expressions that represent the total amount of money spent by a group if F is the number of friends that went to the movie. Okay, there are multiple answers here, just like at the beginning when we were talking about the video game. Multiple answers work. So let's talk about the first one. $8 plus $3.50 plus $2.25. Well, this means that if the movie tickets are $8, this is only one friend. This is only one ticket. So this one doesn't work. We're talking about a group of friends here, and that would be F. So F is the number of friends, and they each get a ticket, a popcorn, and a drink. So this one works. You're taking the number of friends times each one of those things. This next one takes the number of friends, but only one popcorn, one drink, and one ticket. So this one doesn't work. So if you add, this is F plus 1375. I'm thinking that they're adding all these up and then adding the number of F. You would have to multiply that. So this one doesn't work. So this one says the price of a ticket times the number of friends plus the price of popcorn times the number of friends times the price of a drink times the number of friends. So that one works. And if you add these numbers, which would be the cost of one person attending, and multiply it by the number of friends, that also works. Okay, one more and we'll be done. We're on the bottom for B on page 12. If 5 friends go to the movie, how much money will each person spend? How much money will the entire group spend? Okay, so each of them, I'm going to take the most simplified version because let's make the math easier. So we said that this one works. So if only one friend went, they would spend $13.75 because you would have $13.75 times 1, which is $13.75 for 1 person. If a group of 5 went, we're going to plug in a 5 for F because that's the number of friends. So we have $13.75 times 5. So you're going to take that amount, that $13.75, and when you multiply it by 5, you get $68.75 for 5 people. Okay, that's it for today.